Joining us now is Alex Acuna, the driving force behind the National Drug Card, which is a regular sponsor here on the show, as well as a new venture, NDC Savings Club, which I want to talk to him about. He's got 25 years of business and marketing in this field and so forth. They're located out of Washington, D.C., and a really important thing, you've heard me talk about it on the air about how important I think this drug card is. It's a great service. Alex, first of all, how did the drug card come to be?
Great question. Like in 2003 and 2004, we were talking about benefits. I've been involved in benefits going back all the way to 1994, 95. So it's been some time involving with benefits that people can use. So, of course, that progressed into medical and dental and other programs. Around 2005 or so, I was given the opportunity down in Washington, D.C. to start creating this free drug card program. And we came to start building it. We had a great response with it, with the program. And it seems like at that time, the whole need for these discount drug cards wasn't that big of a deal. So we're kind of that was a new frontier for us. And slowly we started going after like large associations and affinity groups and nonprofits and charity and churches and these organizations that needed this drug card to give to their members. And that's how we build it up for a while. Then after that, we gave the opportunity for other entrepreneurs to start letting the word out there, let people know about this drug card. And that's how we kind of made it out there to go into the public. Since then, we're having really great success with it because nowadays, it seems like everyone's losing all their benefits and all. So That's the whole outcome of the drug card.
Well, and that's what I love about it. And people always wonder, well, what's the deal here? It's free and so forth. It really is a no-brainer because people really need this. And this goes for not only the uninsured, but some of the underinsured. And even people that have good insurance, there's always an opportunity to use this card and save some money, isn't there?
Correct, and that's absolutely right. We all remember the days back in the day where, $300 or $400 we paid for full insurance, and that covered everything. You just went to the doctor and he got your medications for free, and there was no such thing as co-pays or nothing at all. Nowadays, you're lucky if you have a 80-20 policy, talking about probably $1,000, $2,000 a month or more for a family, and you still have to pay co-pays in reference to your medications. What I've noticed is that what has been happening in the industry and being involved with it now for almost over 10 years, what I've been noticing is that a lot of the insurance companies are not beginning to cover a lot of the generic medications. They're trying to pass that along to the consumer, to the insurance bearers. So then they have to pay money out of their pocket for the medications, that's where our drug card can come in and help them save money. Also, to the older people with the Medicare, which is the donut hole, that they fall within a gap that they have to pay. Medicare covers to a certain point, and then they fall within this hole, and that's where the drug card can come in and save them quite a bit amount of money on their medications until it catches back up again. So again, also another thing too, a lot of medications are not being covered by insurance. So you have to pay that out of your pocket. I personally have noticed this myself. The copays, they started off at $5, $10. Now they're up to like $10, $20, $30, $50 copays. A good example, last year I had to take ibuprofen, which is an anti-inflammatory, 800 milligrams, and my insurance, the copay for that was $20. Using our free drug card program, I wound up giving that to the pharmacist. They recalculated, and it came out to $7 and like 18 cents. So I'm thinking, should I pay the insurance company $20 or pay them $7 out of my pocket? That's like $13 savings in my pocket. And at that time last year, we remember when gasoline was so high, and it's still high now. That's good for what, 2 or 3 gallons of gas.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
At least this is a great way that you can use the card to help you save money.
Well, I have a good friend that told me about the car. That's before we ever started doing any advertising or anything like that. He goes, here, take this thing. So I put it in my wallet, didn't think much of it, Alex. And I was going in getting, everybody now, you get over 50, you've got 5 or 6 prescriptions, you know how it goes. And one of them, and I got pretty good insurance, but on one of them, because they said it wasn't necessary in their opinion, therefore you had the full price. So instead of the $5 a pop, this was like over 70. And what if I use this card? I handed it over to the guy, and suddenly it was down to $28. Huge deal, great deal. Didn't have anything to do with the insurance company; they don't care. Again, a no-brainer. I mean, so this works for like almost everybody, doesn't it?
Correct, and that's exactly right. What people should do, get a hold of the card, I guess, through this program, and then see for yourself. There's a website that you can go to, put in your medication. And what's nice with the website, they give you a search, and it'll give you the medication prices within your area, and you can keep expanding the zip code. What I've been noticing now is that, people are beginning now to be forced to look for different prices, and you'd be surprised. Certain pharmacies might charge more than another pharmacy. So the best thing to do, as we get older, and you're absolutely right, and the average medication might be 3 or 4 medications on the average, but more people are taking more like 5 to 10 or 12 medications. So if you think about it, let's say insurance covers some of it and some of it doesn't, then you can go to the card and see through the website to see where you'll be able to get the best savings. And you know what? If you might have to drive to 2 or 3 different pharmacies and save you $20, $30, $50, that's your option. That's your money that you're giving away. So again, here's a great way they can use our card to help you save money.
Yeah, and I think people need to think of it not only for themselves, but you had mentioned a little earlier, this is great for groups. I mean, not just church groups or groups that address the poor, but groups across the line. If you've got some sort of a social club or anything like this, again, you got nothing to lose. I mean, best case scenario for somebody, okay, if everything's covered, you don't need it, then you keep it in your wallet because sooner or later you're probably going to need it.
Correct. And talking about that, keep it in your wallet, when you go to the pharmacy, whatever it be, CVS, Rite Aid, whatever, your local mom and pop, I strongly suggest this. They give you the best pricing, by the way, because they want to keep the customers. They're really going out of business, all these local mom and pops, which was the backbone of our pharmacies, and that's where you have the main contact, with your pharmacist. They're really are getting, put out of business on all these big, CVSs. I mean, think about it. Everywhere you go, there's a Walgreens, a CVS, or Rite Aid, especially here in the Northeast. There's other chains out there in the South, and there's other out there in the West. But we all can get the idea. So you're helping them, and they're going to give you the best prices as well. So, again, might as well support them as well.
Great idea. That's a question, though, I get all the time. And you guys are covered by everybody. I mean, you could take this card, Walmart, Target, CVS, Walgreens, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to leave anybody out. But if you would, people come and say, gee, this seems like a scam. Why do these companies want to do it? And I want to squelch that right away. Why do these companies want to do it? And why do you find, 60, 70% in some cases of a discount? I mean, is there really that much of a overhead with this stuff?
Yes, there is. It's a huge overhead. But the bottom line is that if you have no insurance, you're going to pay 100%. Now, if you have insurance, guess what? The insurance company, they don't pay on a medication 100%. They might pay 30 or 50% on the medication. Guess what? With our card, we give you that same ability, the same prices.
Yeah.
So then what's interesting with that is that the pharmacists want to keep your business, and they're also competing among themselves. So, again, they definitely want to give out this card. And it's basically, when you deal with this program, is that you're paying the same price that insurance companies pay. So.
It's good. Good way to look at it. The other thing, we talked about it a little before we went on the air. Each of these companies, they want you to come in. So if they have this discount for you, you're going to get the best deal possible. It's good for them. It's a no-brainer. I mean, if you're going to go to Safeway, for example, you're going to walk by a lot of groceries. And, for any of these companies, it just makes sense.
Correct. And that's exactly right. I guess a part of our website, one of the things we put up on the back, on the website saying, why do you think all the pharmacies are all the way at the end of the store, and while you're walking through the aisles, they make you, they display the best products that profit the most for them. So again, they want you to take that walk and see what else you can buy while they make you wait for your medication on top of it. So again, it's a win-win. The drug card concept is a great win for everyone, for the pharmacies, also for the consumer, and the manufacturers. They're making profits, so everyone is a win-win situation.
And for some people, it's a necessity because if you don't have any insurance, obviously you need it. But like, what about somebody who loses a job and they don't know? Cobra costs a fortune, and what happens, in between jobs? And nowadays they're starting to become those weeks between jobs can be months, or in some unfortunate cases, maybe even years.
Correct. And the interesting thing is that as time goes on, stress builds up within us. And as you build up stress, especially financially, it definitely starts getting to you, and your immune system goes down, and you're stressed, and you wind up getting sick. So again, you might need these medications to help you, deal with the stress that you're going through, because your immune system is down, and you get, getting viruses or getting infections and stuff, or being exposed to God knows what out there in the environment nowadays. And now at least you have here this great drug card to help you if you needed to get medications at a great discount. Let me say the discount. And again, it's most of the places. I would say probably at least 80 to 90% of the places. And again, go look at the website. And these are all the major chains like CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, Walmart, and your local pharmacies, where they'll probably give you the best savings, and they honor these cards. They're under contract. So again, take advantage of this card, because again, it's there to save you. And I was going to say it's about in reference to the savings. On name brand, you might get anywhere from a 5 to 30% savings on name brand medication. It might be a little bit higher, maybe 40%, but on the average, maybe 5 to 20%. And again, these are name brand medications. A lot of times they don't give you anything at all. Now, on generics, which most people, 70% or more people, use generics, that's where you're going to get the most savings. You're going to get anywhere from, I would say, from 40 to 90% savings. So wow. Definitely, and by the way, generics are exactly the same name brand. They just happen to lost their patent. Yeah. Their issue of patent sometimes in the past from 7 years all the way to like 15 years. And what has happened is that, once that patent runs out, it's exactly the same medication, so their patent ran out, so now they have to give it at a deeply discounted price. So that's where, please understand, everyone, that, these generics are exactly the same medication. They just lost their patent. And that's where you'll be able to get the most savings, anywhere from 40 to 90%. On the average, I would say, is 50% or more. So that's a pretty good deal, I would say.
Alex, you've been doing this for a while. Talk to the people, if you would, for a moment about some of the savings you've heard of from some people. I mean, in real dollars, not just in percentages. What are you hearing back from folks that are using this thing and obviously happy with it?
Well, like I mentioned before, myself, I saw that, I had the choice that I can pay the copay of $20 for ibuprofen, 800 milligrams, and I pay $7, I think, and 18 cents. So that was a nice savings. Other people out there that I've heard stories, and I've seen this myself personally. A lot of times when I go pick up medications, I'm very surprised that there's older people there waiting for their medications, and they're paying cash. Yeah. So, of course, I'm there. I always have the cards with me, and in my wallet. I keep them in my car, and then I bring them with me, and then I see people there, and I hand them the card to help them save money. And a good example, there was an older lady, and she was waiting online for a medication, and I saw that she was going to pay cash. I said, ma'am, here, try this free drug card. It might help you save some money and all. And she'll say, okay, I really would appreciate it. Thank you so much. And she tried it. I think her medication was like something like $73, and this is going back a couple of years back. And with the drug card, she wound up paying something like $21. It was like something like a $50 savings. And she was so thankful, and she was almost crying to me, and I felt really bad. What she said afterwards, she goes, "Thank you so much, because now with this money I save, I can buy some food."
Wow.
And I'm thinking to myself, how bad has this country come to? That, you know, you hear stories of elderly people eating cat food. That's what it reminds me of. So I'm like really heartbroken, and I, you know, that's just one personal example of many that I've tried that people don't even know these things exist. So of other stories of people saving, you know, some money, some people saving hundreds of dollars. But again, like we keep saying, you know, what do you got to lose? You just try it and see what happens.
Well, that's the beauty of this. I mean, you talk about people on the fixed income and so forth and having nothing to lose. That's what has excited me, you know, not only because NDC is a client, but I love the fact that there's no club to join. You don't have to put money down to get this thing. You don't get a bill, whatever. You don't see any of that. I mean, here it is. And if you don't want to use it, don't use it. But there's just no reason not to try it. And when you talk about savings like that, $50 a pop with things that you might be taking every month and so forth, that's real money.
Correct. Yes, it does add up. A lot of people, you know, what they do, they try to save money. They try to split the medications in half, and which I don't suggest, you know, that they should take the full dosage. Also, another very important point, you know, please everyone on the call, don't fool yourself or get these internet programs that are out there for cheaper medication, because again, sometimes some of these medications, most of the time, not these internet programs that are out there from overseas. Some of these medications might be coming from India. They might be coming from the Middle East. They might be coming from Mexico, and you don't know what you're getting. There's no FDA regulations there or safety protocols. So again, you know, try something that's, you know, here, National Drug Card, which is the, you know, self, you know, homegrown, and this is all FDA approved and all, and you're able to go right to the website and see the best prices, you know, in your area. So again, you know, please be aware that, you know, these internet and these other things out there, you know, sometimes like when they say when something sounds too good, it might not be good in reference to overseas medications or some of these internet programs that are out there. So be careful.
That's great advice. And I want to talk to you for a little about this new venture, which is even more exciting as we get into healthcare. You know, a lot of times we've had a lot of shows on, a lot of people talking about Obamacare and the problems, and you're trying to make political changes, either some radical, some maybe small, but everybody thinks there's going to be a change there. Well, in the meantime, the consumer really has to look at that and go, my gosh, what am I going to do? I got to get past this while they're arguing it out. You know, you get to the point, as you mentioned before, where you can't afford this stuff. So it looks like the NDC Savings Club, which National Drug Court, of course, is a part of, really is a way for people to look at all their health care needs. Talk a little about what the Savings Club is and how it works and why it can be a good fight in these difficult times in the healthcare field.